It's time for all things spooky again. Before I get into my update for Paranormal Pantivity, I am going to ask you to please do all of the things. All right, so let's talk about this project. This is Paranormal Pantivity, which started on September 24th of 2022 and will end September 24th of 23 because that is National Ghost Hunting Day. And this was created by Andrea, who is pretty as a peacock. I will have her linked in the title, although it doesn't come up as pretty as a peacock there. And I will also have her channel linked in the description box. And I know it's a different name, but it is actually her. This has monthly or bi-monthly updates. She did do this in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies group, so I will have them linked to their Facebook page. And we were to start with either 6 prompts, do it rolling style, or we could start with all of them at once. However we wanted to do it. Andrea does her projects different ways, so I think that's why she kind of left it like well, you can do this or do this. It just kind of depends on whatever style of a panner you are as to how she's letting us start this. The hashtag on social media, Paranormal Pantivity PP. And I know I have it in my thumbnail as well as in my description box every month, but just as a reminder, the thumbnail was created by Andrea's sister. And that is Maria, I believe it's Villar, but I may be mispronouncing her last name because I've never heard it said aloud. So I apologize if I did that. But that's the housekeeping. Okay, so the first thing that we've got going on is Poltergeist, a product that gives you trouble. Hard to use, bad packaging, etc. I brought in this Mary Kay Rare Jewels. This was a special release. And it does have a mirror in it. It is 4 shades and a blush. Packaging is impossible for me to open, so I don't actually close it all the way. So I have not gotten a whole lot farther on this. We have got Diamond Dust, which I have 2 uses on. Elegant Emerald, I am at 3. Sparkling Sapphire, I am at 3. Alluring Amethyst, I'm at 4. And the Rare Ruby Blush, I'm at 3. So, I mean, I'm not totally neglecting this, but it's, oh, geez, these swatch bad. This stuff is old and powdery and patchy swatching and disappearing on my hand. Oh, okay, that one worked. Wow. This is one of those that I didn't get it when it was new. I don't know how old it is. The shades work, but I didn't know, well, and you're not going to be able to see that first one. For some reason, there we go, get that blue a little less patchy. So those are the shades, and I kind of figured this was going to be one of those things that I'd probably have to ditch, and I very well might have to after everything is said and done, just because of the age of it. I didn't know how long it would last or how well it would perform. But I thought, well, what the heck, at least we'll get some use out of it because it was sitting around unused until this last summer when I came across it. All right, then, Doppelganger, a product you have a double or backup of. Once again, we went with a Mary Kay one. This is the Mary Kay Blush in Wild Rose that I have 3 of because I just keep getting them. And I am actually working on finishing this. The pan's getting a little bit bigger. I think I've only used it like once or twice since last month. So there was no weight change. Very hard to see on the finger. But, oh, sheesh. Okay, it's up here. You can kind of see it. It's a light pink. It is a very light pink. It's a very pretty shade. It's next to the cream colored shade that you can't see at all. So this is another one that's just staying in that I'm just going to keep plugging away with, and hopefully by the end of the project I'll have it finished. That's the goal, and I figure I still have several months, and I've got a good sized pan going, so I mean, I'm thinking that I should be able to accomplish that. Fingers crossed. All right. Then the next one is White Lady, a product that's white or with white packaging. And for that, I brought in this little baby mini of, this is the Sunday Riley Ice. And it is a, what is this? It's a ceramide moisturizing cream. I think mine was going off. Mine actually smelled a little bit like Play-Doh and actually started to smell worse. And I think it made me break out. So I ended up using the rest of it just on my body. So I did finish it off. It did just recently come up in the 21 Days of Beauty, but since I've never tried a sample that I know is good, because I don't know that this was good when I started using it, not something I purchased. I have no good opinions on that, but it's out of my collection, and I did use it, even though it was probably expired. Anyway, then we have Vanishing Hitchhiker, a product that disappears quickly. Well, I brought in the new MAC Fix Plus. This is the Fix Plus Stay Over, the alcohol-free spray. And I brought it in to use it as a step in my skincare, not as an actual setting spray. So I brought this in last month at 74.0 grams. We are at 56.8 grams right now. This will just stay in until it's completed. There's no way to see through the bottle. Unfortunately, it's too thick, and even with lighting, I can't see through that. So we'll just keep using it until it's gone. Easy as that. All right, then I have Afterlife, a product that's past its expiration date. Well, I had a new product in, right? So that's one. I had brought in this MAC gloss. This is, actually it's a MAC lip lacquer in the shade Varnish. And I put this in for 30 uses just because I like it. It's got the old brush. Okay. And hopefully you can see that. It's an old brush applicator, not a doe foot. That is, okay, a little bit of a shine. That's the shade of it. And it was on its side, so I don't know where we are exactly, but I think I don't use a lot of lip gloss. I hit my 30 uses finally is the point of all of this, so this is actually going to roll out. I'll probably keep using it because I do like it. I just don't go through a lot of lip gloss. And quite honestly, so when we brought this in, I brought it in September? I think I brought it in at the beginning. It weighed 17.6 grams. It's now 16.9. And that's after 30 uses, maybe 31 or 2, but that I actually managed to track. So, yeah, that's not going to be done anytime soon. I'm not that big of a gloss person. We know this. Then I brought in Reincarnation last month, I think. It's a product you have bought in the past that has updated packaging. While there are some things that do have that, I actually went the opposite direction and brought in Adept Plain Jane Remastered because this came out and then they changed a couple of things and reissued it. It does have a mirror on it, but I have my Post-it on there. These are the colors. And I have swatched things and I've used a couple of shades in the past, but for the purposes of this project, the only one I have used is actually the one that's on my eyes today, which you can't see, really, I don't think. It's been on for hours. It's probably a little faded by now. But it is that. It is a very nice light color, but it is very shiny, very pink. Okay, can you see the pink, hopefully? I have the lighting, I have some of the overhead lights off, quite frankly, because I don't want to induce a headache. And I'm kind of at that edge. The weather was a little off, so I'm still kind of recovering today. But that is remaining because I did that as a no pan left behind and I've only used one shade. I don't know what I've been doing lately. Then I brought in Spirit, and this is a nature themed product, and I brought this in. This is the Bath & Body Works Force of Nature, which is a champagne toast candle. Force of Nature was a seasonal thing, and it's got all these awesome dragonflies and stuff on it. I think they're all dragonflies. I don't think there's any butterflies. But the packaging is gorgeous. And I think we've established that I love my dragonflies. So it was one of those, I knew I liked the candle, so I brought it in. Let it burn for a long time, a couple times, so we got a little bit of black burning there, but it burned as well as all of them do. And I might, if I get different wicks, I'm going to probably save this one and see if I can reuse it. But I do need to get different wicks, I think, for that one before I can reuse it. So you'll see it in the month-end empties. But it's a rollout. All right. Then I also had a bonus item in here because I really truly did think this was in the project. And I thought, oh, I've got the perfect shade. I have Luxie's shade Phantom. I'm like, oh, that's perfect for Andrea's project. I know that's one of the things. I know Phantom is in there. Well, no, it wasn't, and I'm a dork. So I brought it in as a bonus thing just to, it seemed to fit. She may actually add Phantom if this comes back. So it is a gorgeous purple shade. It comes across real dark. And like I said, I've got the lighting different. And I don't know if this is going to be better or worse for you guys. So we'll have to see. It's a little bit better for my head, but I don't know that that means it's better for your viewing pleasure. So it is coming across a little bit blue, I think, for what you're seeing, but it is a very lovely shiny purple. I have gotten 2 more uses on it. I set it up for 9 uses because it's the project, not program. The project started in September, which is the 9th month. It just seemed to make sense in my head. So I've gotten 6, which means I have 3 more. And with that, like I said, I am intentionally trying to not hurry because I kind of like just having that little extra bonus thing in there that's just for fun. So no rush on that. Now what I am going to do, even though I only had a couple of rollouts, since a couple of these are long-term type of things, I am going to, and I've had some that were just in forever, I'm going to bring in a couple extra this time. First one I'm going to bring in is Ouija board, a product with an embossing or an imprint. Well, as I was prepping for this video, I had the Odin's Eye blush in, which one is this one? This one is Pink Star. And it was brand new. Literally right before I sat in the chair to start filming, I had dropped it out of the box onto my tile floor and cracked it in half. So it is a lovely highlighter with a mirror. It does have an embossing, which is now in 2 pieces because it literally cracked in half. I lost a little bit of it. So the imprint's not quite right and the edges are completely screwed up. But I don't think, there's no way for me to actually get you. I think the embossing on the front of it might actually be the same as what's on the highlighter itself, but I can't tell, and I don't know that I can get you a clear picture. Anyway, I'm going to bring that in for 5 uses. Then, I am bringing in orbs, a product that brings life to your face. I decided that I was going to go with a skincare product on this prompt because I think that's what brings life to my face in general. Before skincare, I'm fairly hauntingly pale and zombified. So I'm going to bring in this Lawasu First Care Activating Serum. This is a 0.27 fluid ounce bottle. I had just used a foil packet of this not too long ago and said I knew I had one somewhere, but I didn't know it was here. It's here. So I'm going to bring it into my routine. The start weight on this is 33.2 grams, and I'm going to bring this in until I finish it. Then, Bloody Mary, a product with a mirror. Yeah, man, I got highlighter everywhere. And this one I brought in because I found it humorous. So I wanted to bring in a light peach blush, so I had bought this mini of Georgia at TJ Maxx, so I got it for $6. And it actually does have a mirror in there, which is ridiculous because this thing is tiny. I mean, I think I'd have to hold it like arm's length away to be able to see my cheek to actually put the blush on. Completely useless. And this is the brush it comes with. That's going to go in a drawer somewhere. And then I will, at some point, get the little plastic tray out of there so that I can use the blush. But yeah, I thought that's the world's most ridiculous mirror. That is completely useless, especially for anybody like me who's older and nearsighted. I mean, I'm holding things this far away anyway, but it's so small that I can't see anything. So that's what Georgia looks like. Okay, I don't think you can see it because I can barely see that swatch. I don't know that I can get that dark enough to show up. Sorry, guys. Oh, I could have given you a swatch of the highlighter. Let's try. Since I had it all over my hand, I might as well go ahead. It is super crumbly, and honestly, I just smooshed it back in. We'll see if I have to repress it, but it's all along my finger there. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be really mad about this because I have a feeling I'm going to love it. Oh well. So George is coming in for 5 uses also. Back to the blush. Conduct our callouts. Yay. Okay. I also brought in Dybbuk, I believe is the pronunciation, but it could be something completely different and I wouldn't know. This is a product still in its box. Well, that's the other thing I brought in, and this is how I managed to drop it because I had the box open. I had both of the Odin's Eye. This is another highlighter. I had both of them in their boxes. They actually were Christmas presents from my husband because I accidentally put it on his card. So he's like, okay, whatever. It got sent and it was right around Christmas time. He's like, fine, they can just be part of your present. So this one is in Azura Shine. I cannot say Azura. Cannot say that. But this also is a purple one, has a mirror, is a really pretty highlighter, which, yeah, there's no way to get you the embossing on that, but it is lovely. And these are both from the Soman too. Somane too? Whatever. Um, but that's the, okay, we got some purples going on in here. I'm digging that. So that is the other highlighter. Yeah, that's got a strong purple shift to it. Oh yeah, so I've got a pink and a purple highlighting shift with those two. I am going to love that. That's going to go in the trash. 5 uses also. So I am bringing in 4 things. 3 of them are 5 uses each, and they're actually filler things that I need because I don't have things already in the project that fill these spaces. So I thought, well, bring in a couple highlighters that were new that I haven't used yet and get a little bit of usage on them. And then, like I said, use the skincare before it goes bad. All right, so that is everything for the project that I have in and I'm bringing in. Now, let's go to the music moment. This one ended up going in a completely different direction than I thought it was going to go, which really shouldn't surprise anybody because it's me and this is how things happen with me. So I was originally thinking that I was going to bring in something with ghosts or spirits, and I do have an idea and I may end up using it. I'm just not in love with it. Then I found that there's a song by the band Stabbing Westward called Haunt Me. And it was used in a movie, but that's not a song I'm super familiar with. Oddly enough, it is on the same album as the song we are going to do. So I don't know why that one doesn't stick out in my head. Their probably best known song by Stabbing Westward is the song Save Yourself. And that is the song that I am bringing in. The reason that I figured this tied in is because it was used in the movie Urban Legend in 1998. I don't remember if I've seen that or not. Like I said, I'm not a big horror fan. I don't watch a lot of horror movies. But I figured if we're going to be talking about some urban legends, it kind of fit in with the paranormal theme. And I thought, well, if they use this song in the movie, that's my tie-in. We're not always going to have tie-ins. If I can, or if I remember, I will try and do that. But like I said, I tend to pick songs that I like. This is actually one of my 2 favorite songs by the band. I have the album Darkest Days. I have had it since probably the late 90s. So Save Yourself is off of Darkest Days. That was released in 1998. Now, Save Yourself has also, it has charted in 3 different places. So in Australia, it hit number 64 on the area charts. It hit in 2 different Billboard charts, one of them being mainstream rock, and there it peaked at 4, which seems weird to me. And then for what is modern rock tracks, and they've renamed this stupid list in Billboard 3 times, so I don't know what the current name is, but there it peaked at 20. So the reason it seems weird that it is in mainstream is because the band is a metal band. I suppose they're a rock band, but they're also in that industrial metal category. So it seemed a little bit strange to me that it was higher in mainstream than it would have been on the other chart at one point was called alternative, and I figured it would have charted higher there. For some reason, it did not. All right, so off of Darkest Days, Darkest Days was released in 1998, which is the same year that the song was used in the movie, because Urban Legend is also from 98. 3rd studio album of technically 5. So this is a band out of Illinois that formed in 1985. They released an EP, and then they did the album. So Darkest Days is technically their 3rd album. They did a 4th album. They broke up in 2002, had a couple of compilation releases after that. They've been in a bunch of different soundtracks all over the place with different songs. They've charted with more than one song. They reformed in 2016 because it was the 30th anniversary of the formation of the band. They've actually stayed together since then, and they were touring. They just released another album. In 2022, the album Chasing Ghosts came out. It's the first album they've done in 21 years, and it is their 5th studio album. And they've been touring and stuff like that. So, rather interesting. Now, for the song, okay, so I did take screenshots of things so that I would not screw this up. All right. The song Save Yourself was featured in the movie trailer for Mod Squad, Fatal Error, and The Covenant. It featured on the soundtracks for Tekken the Motion Picture and then the Shaun White snowboarding soundtrack. It was featured in Urban Legend, and then it played during the end credits of True Blood's season 5 finale, and apparently the season 5 finale had the same title of Save Yourself. So, okay, yeah, I already told you all that. I told you about the interesting thing about Darkest Days and where this song falls. And I didn't know this until I just kind of looked it up. Darkest Days is a concept album, which I had no clue. And it's got 4 acts, and they're different emotional phases of going through a breakup. So it's almost like the stages of grief, only it's the stages of a breakup the way they conceptualized it. So the first 4 tracks are about sabotaging the relationship. Then tracks 5 through 9, which include Save Yourself, Haunting Me, which, like I said, was used in another movie, and I don't remember what movie. I'll have to find that for you guys or put it across the screen or something. But then the other song that I absolutely love is You Complete Me. All of those songs are in that second phase, which is about lust, hope, and longing. Then tracks 10 through 12 are about hitting rock bottom after it's all over. And then the 4th act, which is tracks 13 through 16, are about recovery and self-respect. I had no idea it was a concept album. I haven't listened to the full album in I don't know how long, but You Complete Me and Save Yourself are definitely in my favorites playlist, so those I hear more frequently. I have loved those songs since the beginning. And like I said, I've actually been listening to the album since the 90s. I'm pretty late, obviously late 90s because it didn't come out until 98, but I'm trying to think of when I started listening to it. I don't know, but I know it was in the late 90s. Anyway, I may have started listening to it shortly after it was released. I don't know how I heard it the first time, but, well, I know I heard it on the radio, but I ended up liking it so much that I actually went and got the whole album. So that is, I believe, everything that I have for you. I think I've given you all the information about the band, the song. Oh, and then I'll look up. Yeah, stop it. I'm going to have to look up where Haunting Me was, and hopefully I did remember to scroll that. So that is everything I have for you. I will have the video for Save Yourself from Stabbing Westward's YouTube page linked in the description box for your listening and viewing pleasure. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, everybody, thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. I will see you very, very soon. Bye. See ya.